the Holocaust would not have been possible without Nazi Germany, but it would never have reached the scale that it did if the Nazis did not have willing allies and other members of the Axis, if they were not able to find on-the-ground collaborators in countries that were occupied.
And these collaborators are sometimes rehabilitated today, one of the most concerning and increasingly common forms of Holocaust distortion.
Shockingly so, given how far we are from the events of the Holocaust, our attempts variously by governments or interest groups or certain communities to make acceptable again or to rehabilitate the reputations of individuals whose actions or words or simple efforts helped lead to the Holocaust and related crimes.
Collaborators and collaborationist groups are being viewed in a positive light by segments of society. For example, with busts honoring members of the Romanian Antonescu regime, like Mircea Vulcănescu, with statues of Hungarian Admiral Miklos Horthy, or with commemorations of Croatia's wartime pro-fascist Ustasha regime.
80 years after, it happens sometimes that streets are named after them, that there are public symposia about them.
It's a problem to honor the memory of persons who are perpetrators because you are building models for your youth. And I think that criminals shouldn't be the models of behavior that you try to present to your youth.
The Holocaust and the facts of the Holocaust are often being distorted in order to whitewash history.
Nations want their glorious past. That's how they build up their national identity.
I think that there are different reasons behind the different initiatives of rehabilitating perpetrators or collaborators of the Holocaust. The idea you can divide the personalities of a person, that you can honor someone as a scientist or as an anti-communist fighter without mentioning his role during the Holocaust. And I think that's a mistake. Unfortunately, the process or the incidence of rehabilitation of personalities who are perpetrators or collaborators of the Nazi regimes can be found everywhere in the world. In Europe, in America, in Australia. Unfortunately, we are seeing this phenomenon.
I can think of no more overt case than this than the case of Roman Šuškevič. He was, among other things, a Nazi collaborator. There's proof that he engaged in crimes against Jews and others in Ukraine. After the fall of the Soviet Union, the Ukrainian parliament rehabilitated him in an official way, and just 2 or 3 months ago, they renamed the football stadium in Ternopil in Šuškevič's honor. And the problem with rehabilitation is you are making acceptable people who were inherently unacceptable. You're turning